Barely. Good enough. You don't really need to see me for this. Anyway, hey tubes. Jonathan was wrong here, tooth on a budget. So I just wanted to discuss something real quick because I think it's going to be applicable pretty soon. So along with the laundry list of things in this world that aren't real, one of those things is terrorism. Terrorism isn't real. It's real in the way that people do go and explode people and kill people and do all this stuff. But as far as it being like a group of like-minded people that want to change things through terrorism, however that works, it isn't real. Because it's stupid. It's a stupid thing. It doesn't make any sense. Who benefits? You're trying to change people's minds and hearts about stuff. You're trying to, show how corrupt a government is by blowing up civilians. Hey, we want to bring people onto our side and, show how bad everything is and show that we're the good guys. How do you plan on doing that? I don't know, blow up some kids. See how that doesn't work? See how that doesn't really make sense? See how that's nonsense? See how that just makes the terrorists, bad? I mean, right off the terrorists, bad thing, it's immediately a bad thing. There's no good terrorists. So why would there be terrorists? Why would people commit to doing this if it isn't doing anything good for their movement? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And whenever we find these, my hair is kind of nuts right now. I'm sorry. Whenever we find these quote unquote terrorist groups, they're always funded by by that false state that I'm not allowed to talk about, or my videos get taken down. That place, they're funded by them. They're funded by the American government. We just anytime we find a quote unquote terrorist cell, it always goes back to Assad or the CIA. Every single time. Or some sort of other, or some sort of any world, Secret Service type military force. It always or intelligence service. It always goes back to them every single time. It's not a coincidence. You can definitely find willing participants, useful idiots to take part in these things, to go ahead and be blow themselves up, or start shooting people or whatever. That isn't difficult. But for there to be a faction or a group whose main goal is to spread terror so people will do what they say, doesn't make any sense whatsoever. What, you're going to go to war with the biggest military in the world with like you and your buddies? What do you, like, doesn't make sense. No amount of stupidity would turn that into a good idea. None of it adds up. So, whenever they say, oh, terrorist this, terrorist that, no. It means they did it. It means they paid people to do it. It means their dogs of war went out and did it. But it's not, terrorists in the way that people think it is. It is world governments trying to sway people against certain ideas. Because, duh, if you want people to come to your side, you don't, like, murder children. I don't understand, I guess people don't really think about it. It's not like, oh, terrorism, it's a thing. No one ever stops to think why. Who benefits? You always need to ask who benefits. When anything happens, in the world stage, it's a stage, you need to ask yourself, that sip just made my mouth water like crazy. I'm so sorry. Need to swallow more saliva than drink. I'm just My mouth is just salivating. Maybe it's the angle. But anyway, you always need to ask yourself who benefits from any action on a global scale. Yes, plenty of people do stupid things, but that's not on the world stage. That's not news. Might make a fail video, but that's not world news. We're presented with information because it is intended to make us think a certain way. Like the news isn't presenting information. It's in the way that people think it might be. It's presenting information that they want you to think. It's not like say you have an old biology book that's just describing how certain cells work or whatever. It has no agenda. Why is my mouth watering so bad? It has no agenda. It's it is purely scientific. It's information, raw information. What we get from the news is, if there is any actual information in it that is real, it is there only to make you think or feel something, to manipulate you. So every bit of information that we get is there to manipulate us. You really need to draw these. I have no idea what's wrong with my mouth right now. You really need to draw these conclusions to fully understand everything. Everything serves a purpose. There's not money spent on anything if it's not there to do something. And normally what it is there to do is to confuse and screw us. That's just the way of the world. That's the type of people that are in charge. I'm sorry if you're new here and you don't really get that. No one succeeds in this world unless they take the deal, because Satan runs the show. He's the man. When people say the man, they're referring to Satan. He's the man. That's the man. That's who the man is. For your information, that's the man. Also, something too that you see in pop culture that really bothers me is Satan does not rule hell. He is not the king of hell. Hell is not his domain whatsoever. None. It is 0% his domain. It is his prison. Satan has no power in hell whatsoever. None. No power. None. The Lord of the Pit, I believe, is Abaddon. And guess what? Anyone who serves God, or really they're all angels. It's just that Satan and his servants are just fallen angels. Any entity in hell that is there to do its job is an angel. Wrap your head around that, run. Abaddon, he's an angel. These terrifying entities are machinations of God. There's different levels of angel. It's just a terminal. It's just a term. But Satan rules the show here. Satan has power in earth, and that is all. When he has no power in heaven, and he has no power in hell. So where does he have power? Here. He does not have power in hell. You're not going to go to hell and then it's going to be a party where Satan's running this huge party. No. It's a prison built for him. It's a prison for him. He's not going to be ruling the place. So all you Satanists who think, Satan's the Lord of hell. No. Abaddon is the Lord of hell, and the Heavenly Father is his boss. So there you go. The hierarchy actually goes that God rules hell, which really shouldn't be surprising to anybody, because why would so Satan made hell? No, Satan didn't make hell. Satan can't make anything. He's not creative. He watched creation, but he himself is not creative. That's why he needs us. He steals from us. He props humans up, and he uses their creativity because he himself does not have any. Anything he's ever done, he watched someone else do. He's not creative. So he doesn't rule hell. So go ahead and get that out of your head. If you think you're a cool Satanist and you're going to go to hell where all the cool cats are going, and Satan's going to be, in big party hat behind a big, on top of a big stage, and spinning the wheels of steel, not going to happen. He has no power there. So yeah, keep that in mind. But anyway, anything they have planned for us is, they're gonna call it something, but it is what it is. You can call anything whatever you want, but it doesn't change what it is. Like that fake state that I'm not allowed to talk about. Just because you call it something doesn't make it that. Just because you call something love does not make it love. Just because you call something food, it does not make it food. And that's kind of how we've been. At least, I don't know when exactly it started, but just people, changing definitions. You just change instead of, apparently people are so stupid that if you just change the definition of something but keep the word the same, people don't notice. God help them. Literally. People just don't notice. Oh, it's the same thing. It's the same, same people saying no. It didn't, it doesn't. You can't words don't mean anything. Okay. There's power in intent, but if you have no intent, then you're powerless. There's the words are just words. They don't actually mean anything. When someone in a position of power, a authority figure, is telling you things, the words that they're saying don't really mean what you think they mean. This is kind of hard to explain. I don't know. That's a whole concept for a whole nother video. But words have many meanings. And it's especially in English, words will have the same pronunciation and be a completely different word, and all that is important, but it's also not important. It's important for deception. For the manipulation, but for us, for the regular speaking human being, what matters is our intent and what we intend to say. But for them, it's different. For them, everything has multiple meanings. But I'm getting off topic. Basically, the main point of this is that there's no terrorist groups. They're all funded by a government. It always comes to that. They'll even show it in the news that the CIA backed this guy so he can go do some terrorism. They funded and supported this guy so he can go do terrorism. That means that the CIA backed and funded and pushed terrorism. When what's his face, Nipple Barbells Cuomo got an Emmy or whatever, got an award for fictitious acting. That was, hey, guess what? This is all fake. This guy just got an Emmy. But people don't see that. They come out and they tell us what is happening every now and again, but people don't draw the connections. They think it's a separate thing. People love coincidence. People love, 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 love coincidence. Coincidence is easier for people to swallow. The whole, nothing. Oh wow, what a coincidence! Isn't that neat? No, there are. I'm not going to say there are no coincidences. There are. They're just not that common. It is far more common that something happens purposefully, especially on the grand scale. In the worldview, there are no coincidences. Two people happen to be related, not a coincidence. Two groups happen to be funded by the same group, not a coincidence. People attend the same parties, the same colleges, the same secret societies, not a coincidence. It isn't. None of it is. You could lie to yourself and be like, oh wow, what a random. No. You need to draw connections, which is why one of the whole conspiracy theorist type thing is the big red lines, are the big yarn pieces of yarn everywhere, like, oh, this connects to that, this connects. They mock that because it's true. They don't want you to draw the connections. They want you to think someone drawing connections is a crazy person. Like like they do in anthropology and stuff. Like, oh, we found a stone thing that might be an axe head. We're gonna carbon date it. However that works, that's the dumbest. Carbon dating is one of the dumbest things ever. It's so stupid. Oh, it's either 500,000 years old or 5,000 years old. Okay. Question: do we know when it was carved into what it is now? No, we don't. But we do know it is between 5,000 and 500,000 years old. It's like, oh, okay, so yeah, this is real useful information. But anyway, carbon dating, anthropology, all that archaeology, nonsense, lies, all lies. If you ever do find anything, the Smithsonian swoops right in and they take it from you. And then they cover it up, or they say it's something else, or they're like, oh, Native Americans, or some crap. But anyway, blah blah blah. If we get, basically the point is that all these groups, they're all backed. They're not. They're there to cause terror, not for the sake of the terrorist. excuse me, group, not for their sake. They're either useful idiots or they're operatives. The terror is for the backswing. It's like all the racist stuff that's going on now. You have black people, well, not real black people. You have black actors acting racist. And being like, oh, white people need to do this, white people need to do that, and the effect of that is it is actually making white people feel racist. That's the effect of that, because there is no white racism. I've known a few people who will drop the N-word, but you know what? They don't treat black people any differently than they treat anyone else. They may be like, and this and that, but they don't see a black person. They're like, get out of here, I'm not serving you. They treat them, they hit everybody. They just hate black people a little differently. But as far as there being groups, white supremacy groups, no such thing. There's plenty of black supremacy groups. They're all over the damn place. But as far as there being a white supremacist movement, it does not exist. The closest thing is the KKK, and they're a joke. Go ahead. You know what? If you're so concerned about the KKK, go and take a look at them and see what they're up to, and you will quickly realize that they are a threat only to themselves and their cousins and whoever else they're poisoning. But anyway, they're not a threat to anyone. They're stupid people. There's the there's a swing back. If you, it's like pro wrestling where you have the heel. You know, you have the bad guy. You know, everyone in the crowd's booing and hissing at him. They want to kill him. You know, you hear about this in like pro wrestling where actual, they get death threats. You know, heels get actual death threats from wrestling fans, and it isn't real. Okay. Now take that microcosm and apply it to everything else. I always say that politics is like it's like pro wrestling and stuff for for people who think they're intellectual. It's for people who think they're that they're smart and they know they're worldly and all this and all that. It's the same crap. You got heels, you got faces, and everyone hates the heel, and that's what they're there for. That's the role that they play, and you get this on a micro scale, with things like terrorists and criminals and criminal organizations and all this stuff. When the fact is, the bottom line is all these criminal organizations are in bed with the governments. They're all backed. They're all backed by the government. Every drug pusher, every arms dealer, every terrorist group. Every single one of them is in bed with the local government. It's a fact. And they tell us all the time on the news. But people are just think it's an isolated incident, or they just don't care, or they can't, or they can't hold, information in their head at the same time. They can only think of like one thing at once. It's like I shouldn't have to do my hair before I make a video, but at the same time, it should kind of be a consideration, because maybe more than 50 people will see this. But anyway, so yeah, don't be afraid of terrorists. Be afraid of your government funding them. All right, be afraid of the Central Intelligence Agency that funds them. Be afraid of them. Be afraid of the alphabet agencies that fund them. Or not, because it doesn't matter anyway. But whatever they have planned for us, they're doing it. Like I said, think about it logically. You want people to come to your side, so you go out and you kill children. No. No one would do that. That's not a good idea. That's not gonna, who loves killing children? That a false state that I'm not allowed to talk about. They love they love dropping white phosphorus on people. They love it. They love it. But anyway, just because something is called something doesn't make it that thing. If someone is funding something, that's not an isolated incident. That's just how it is. That's how it is everywhere. Just like how every war since the Napoleonic Wars, both sides have been funded by the same family, by the same group of people, for over 300 years, more or less. I think even the War of the Roses. I think it's as far back as I can find records. The Red Shields and other Ashkenazi groups have been funding both sides of the war. That is not a coincidence. And then they get their own country where they get to make war against everybody. And and if you don't support them, you're an anti-Semite, even though the people that they're burning with phosphorus are Semites. All their surrounding people that they're murdering are Semites. But whatever, not allowed to talk about it. Not allowed to talk about a lot of things. It makes making videos tons of fun. How you're not allowed to talk about anything. It's great. Hey, regular person, you should be worried if a certain topic cannot be discussed whatsoever in a free country. So like certain things concerning that fake state I can't talk about are you will go to prison if you question the narrative if you live in certain first world countries. If you live in Germany and you question any of the narrative about the you know what, you go to prison. Now, here's how things really work. We're in the real world. You would want to investigate every aspect. If you want to prove something, you attempt to disprove it. You work as hard as you can to disprove something that you want to prove, and that's science. When you want to, you know, if you want to figure out whether or not the Earth is a stationary flat disk or a spinning ball, try to disprove that it's flat and stationary. Try to prove that it's a spinning ball. You know, work as hard as possible to prove that it's a spinning ball. But I should get off that topic because that's one of those things where you're not allowed to talk about either because you're a tinfoil hatter. Even though I like all the information of that came out like 10 years ago, and that's just old news. Oh, by the way, there's there's a new accurate map it's the most accurate map ever, and it's a flat disk. It's the most accurate map ever, and it's a flat disk. The most accurate map to date. Flat disk. Do you know why? Never mind. Hey, did you know that the Navdat Navy, and the militaries that need to know where things are, they use a flat map? Did you know that? Instead of a 3D globe, even though it's a program and it's on a whatever. Anyway, the main point of this video is that I just kind of realized that I always kind of knew it, but it's just important that terrorism isn't real. There are terrorist groups, but they're not what you think they are. They're just shock troops. They're the shock troops of another army. They're funded. They're the terrorist group. They sell drugs, and who they selling drugs to? If you're in the Middle East and no one does drugs, who are you selling drugs to? If you have no connection, did you know you need connections to sell drugs? You know what? Start selling marijuana. I want you to just go out and just start selling weed, which is not illegal, quasi blah blah blah. But it's like not a thing. It's not like you're selling fucking. It's not like you're selling heroin. I don't like heroin. It's not like you're out selling that or whatever. I hate heroin. But anyway, I loathe it. But anyway, go ahead and see how easy it is. You don't just like, hey, I got drugs. Who wants to buy them? Like you'd get arrested. You need to know people. You need connections. You need a constant flow of connections to finance your drug trade. So this whole like, oh, terrorists, they sell drugs to buy guns. Who are they buying guns from? Who are they buying and selling drugs from? Who's in the middle of all this? If they're sitting in the middle of nowhere in a cave, who are they getting guns and drugs from? You get it? Is it making sense? But anyway, I don't know. Who am I talking to? This is an echo chamber, isn't it? Does anyone get longer than like 5 minutes into my videos anyway? Whatever. Got to do something, right? I'm the type of guy. I don't care how bad you're kicking the crap out of me with you and all your friends. I'm gonna make sure you're at least gonna have a bad day tomorrow. I'm gonna take a few swings before you put me out. I don't care. It's basically what I'm doing here on YouTube. Feeble haymaker before you put me out. Well, feeble only in the way that's not accomplishing anything. I'll lay the hell out. Still got it. I still practice my Muay Thai. Still practice it all. Still practice my kicks, knees, elbows. I still kick your leg in half. Still in great. I bent a crowbar the other day. I'm getting stronger all the time. Like literally, I accidentally bent a crowbar, trying to fix something. Um, Still very strong for some reason. Is what it is. Kind of off topic. I don't know. I don't talk to anyone anymore. It's now with the mask. Have you noticed the random conversations with people don't happen anymore because everyone has a mask on? It's like, and like just no one wants to talk to each other because it's a, and it's like, yeah, all right. It's no point in talking to anyone because you can't understand anybody. You know, I always do that, like, right, you know, I'll have the mask on, whatever. I gotta like pull it out to, you know, every time I say anything, I'm basically pulling the mask off anyway, so you can understand me. But yeah, conversations are over. You remember when you used to see someone and you just used to say, "No, this doesn't happen." Even like, you know, hey, how you doing? People are weird nowadays. You can't even greet somebody, you know. So yeah, sorry if I'm especially rambly. I don't get to talk to people anymore. But anyway, off topic, as it all is. That's about it. I can't really think of anything else. Oh, one other thing. Babylon. What if we're not Babylon? What if China's Babylon? What if? Because Babylon needs to be destroyed, and I don't think they would have the three pillars. One of the three pillars be a destruction zone. The three pillars being London, Vatican, the Vatican, and DC. Those are the three pillars. Because that's where the three dicks are. Vatican, of course, is the dick of fake religion. The London is the dick of fake finance, and the DC is the dick of fake warfare. Or really, it's all real, I guess, in the way that it's, you know, has an effect. But it's fake in the way that it is either not what it says it is, or it's not doing what it says it's doing. It says it's doing. But anyway, yeah, those are the three pillars, the three dicks. And I don't think that they're gonna blow up the war dick. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for America to you know, to fall fully. You know, because in a Revelation, Babylon's destroyed, and everyone sees it destroyed. So it just doesn't make sense for that to happen to America. None of it, you know, it's not, you know, personal, like, oh, I'm American. You know, it doesn't, I don't even, I don't know. It's a different kind of America. It's a different kind of Texas. It's a different kind of California. It's a different, I grew up on the West Coast. It's completely different now. It's a shame. Is what it is. Excuse me. No, yeah, that was one other thing. I was wondering if China is actually Babylon, because they're not gonna blow up one of the dicks. Sorry, the three pillars. If you're wondering why I call it the obelisk, it's a dick. It's Osiris's dick. It's all Satan's dick. Everything all comes down to Satan's dick. The spear, the rocket, the caduceus, all of it. Satan's dick. Get over yourself, dude. But anyway, I guess because he's just giving it to us. But yeah, and every symbol is just Satan's dick. But anyway, I'm sorry. We're getting near the end, and I'm just full of just like not giving a crap. It's hard to, you know, spent years and years and years and years and years telling telling people, hey, don't trust this, don't trust that. You know, this isn't real. This, you know, they're saying this is that, but it's something else. And oh yeah, and this is a good look, huh? And it's where we're at now. You know, I've been you know, People smarter than, more well-spoken than me have been warning y'all forever. You know, so who am I? I don't know. See if my superhuman strength comes into play. That'd be nice. Instead of, you know, just accidentally breaking things. It's not really very useful. What's my superpower? Oh, someone tells me to give something a little tap and I bash it in. Okay, it's my accidentally break stuff. It's my superpower. Tear the handles off things. But anyway, just pull it harder. Anyway, blah blah blah. I don't know, man. You know, it's just like this year is it. You know, 2020 was the year of 2020 vision. They exposed themselves on purpose. Getting back to a point that I forgot to get to. Satan has to sign his work, be it that he's proud, or be it that he has to because God has a plan. Because, you know, you have to know it's from Satan. He hid nothing from us. He hides nothing from us. You can take a look if you want. You just have to choose to. You can't, you know. For those with eyes to hear and, you know, eyes to hear, eyes to see and ears to hear, you have to look and listen. You know, if you're not there, you're not going to see it or hear it. You know, if you're not paying attention and it happens right in front of you, you're not going to see it or hear it. So you need to want. You have to want. But anyway, that's about it. I haven't made a video in a while now. Don't know how much time I have left. Who knows? Who knows? But anyway, I love you guys. People who I don't see anymore, I love you. Think about everyone. Think about all you. People I don't see making videos anymore. You know, I'm thinking about you. I don't want to say specifics because I don't know who wants to be tied to me or not. You know, I don't want to give shout outs because it's like I'm not a good, you know, might get some flack if having anything to do with me. But anyway, I love you guys. Love all you. Even those people I've argued with, you know, I've fought with. I love you all, just, you know, varying degrees. Some of you I love more than others. But I do love all of you. And I worry about you. I worry a lot all the time. It definitely doesn't seem like it to probably anyone who knows me. Or maybe even you guys, who knows? Like, I don't know. I can't say I'm stoic. Do I seem does this look stoic? But I don't know. But anyways. It's actually a mohawk. You just can't tell because it's like crazy bedhead and like half lit. Pretty 80s. There we go. I can do stuff with it. It's fun. It started off as a that's what I'm looking for. Oh, I gotta end this or it's gonna be in 2 parts. I love you guys. Have a beautiful night and God bless you.